Hello, DAV. Welcome to the National Veterans Business Development Council's annual meeting. This is a huge event. A lot of people, when they think about contracting and they think about veterans, they think of the federal government and they think of service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses, and that is a huge godsend to veterans who need set-aside contracts and things like that. But when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to procurement, there's a whole world out there of for-profit companies who want to work with veterans. They're engagement folks, they're hands-on, and they're here at this event to connect veterans with opportunities that are unparalleled in terms of growing their business. I'm joined today with Keith King here. Keith is the veteran who has led the charge to make sure that his fellow veterans, that their spouses have opportunities in procurement that are very unique. And this is a journey. People know about women veteran-owned businesses.
Sure.
People know about minority-owned businesses.
Sure.
And those were the two categories. But Keith, you changed that, and tell us how you did it.
Knocking on a lot of doors. You know, when you're being told no, the real issue is what is it that is going to turn that to a yes? And by asking what it is that was different, what it is that we would have to do to get veterans included in the supplier diversity program of these corporations. Because the program was set aside for what was called disadvantage. And as a Vietnam vet, that was pretty easy for me in the sense of sitting down and saying, you want to talk about disadvantage? And we could go through the economics, we can go through the scholastic, we can go through all the things that basically, so being in the military delays, you know, that part where I'm in Vietnam and my compatriots, my friends at high school are now in college. So they got a good head start, in some cases 4 years or more of a head start. So what we did is we sat down with them, we sat down with the women, and we sat down with the minority organizations, and thankfully both of them were willing to mentor us. And so what we did is we did what the corporation said. We wrote a certification program that met their standards. And those standards are much higher. And in some ways, in the sense of how you have to utilize and enforce those best practices, is a lot different. So when we talk with our vets, we make sure that they're prepared to deliver the information that we need and things that we teach them. Hey, this is how you are going to get certified, and we will walk you through the entire process. So it's good.
Yeah, and you can learn more about that process on nvbdc.org. This certification is a huge deal. The companies here today, Walmart, Amazon, Coca-Cola was leading a panel. These are major national companies, and they're the companies that supply those companies.
Yes.
So billion-dollar roundtable companies here wanting to do business, 300 participants here this week to talk about this. You can learn more about that. But when you talk about opportunities, one of the people joining us here, both DAV Life members, David Christie, can you tell us about the opportunities that NVBDC has given you?
Sure. I'm like Keith. I spent 3 tours in Vietnam. I'm a service-disabled veteran. I certified with Keith about 10 years ago. We were originally doing business as a veteran company, but we had no proof. They were using a DD-214 for me to be somewhat of a veteran company so they could report. As the business continued to go, we had to get certified with a certifying company. It was too hard to do it through the CVE, and so I met Keith and we did it through the NVBDC. Since then, our certification has opened so many doors. At this conference, several of my customers are here as proof that we were able to attract that business. Naturally, like Keith said, we have to do the job, and we have to do it economically. After that, we do assist them in their diversity programs, and that's been a big hit for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Keith. What is the phone number that people can use to reach you at the nvbdc.org?
The easiest one is 1-800, no, it's not, it's 888-CERTIFIED.
888 Certify. And you can learn more about that on nvbdc.org. They have events throughout the year. They have training throughout the year. Check them out. This is a certification that can make a big difference for your business. Thanks, DAV.